What's up, guys? GameNut here, and welcome to Week 17, our final week of my NFL regular season predictions. Let's go ahead and take a look at last week, Week 16, to see how well we did. And as you guys are aware, in the previous week, Week 15, that was the worst that we ever did. And we for the first time of the whole season, fell behind Madden 19 in our overall record. But as you guys can see, last week we redeemed ourselves very well. You guys can see on my left-hand side, that's our correct guesses, yes, and I did get myself 11 right. We did very good, man. I like it. That's a good bounce back week. I got 11 correct and I got 5 wrong. So that now puts our overall record on the year with 134 correct guesses and 104 wrong. And of course with those 2 ties. Now on the other hand, you guys can see Madden 19, they once again fell back behind us, which is really good, man. They only got 7 games correct, so that puts them at an overall record of 132, 106, and 2. So last week they had a 4-game lead on us, the first time that they had a lead on us the entire season, and now this week we are back on top by 2 games once again. I mean, you guys can literally like you can't make this up. Like, it is coming down to the wire. Obviously anything could happen within this final game. They just have to do 2 games better than us to tie, or obviously 3 to win, where we just have to, just do semi-decent so we can, finish out this year strong and do better than Madden 19 in these overall predictions for the year and, be crowned the champs, I guess. So here we are, our Week 17 predictions, our last week of regular season football, man. A lot of your guys' favorite teams, this is going to be the last time you're going to see them play until, like August, right? 8 months away. It definitely sucks, man. Football is literally, it's very close to coming to an end, which really, really sucks. But you know what? We still got some playoff football to look forward to. But, of course, this is going to be our last regular season prediction video, considering it is the last week of the regular season. But, I will be back in the next couple of days to, give you guys the update on what happened, I mean, you guys could probably come back and look for yourselves to want to see, if you want to see how, the overall predictions or the overall record goes for me Madden 19 to see who ends up winning. But I will come back a couple of days later with a video on that, as well as my predictions for how I think the 2018 playoffs are going to go. But let's go ahead and very quickly, let's get through these predictions, man, because my prediction videos have been getting really, really long. So let's try and make our last one not as long, man. So, of course, with these games that we do have on Sunday, a lot of these players are questionable. A lot of players haven't been playing. I am recording this on Friday, so a lot of game player statuses are not like officially official yet. So if I say anything in this video and that's not true as what happens on Sunday when this actually is posted, then you guys can blame me. But like I said, I'm recording this on Friday, so I won't be able to know what happens when Sunday comes around, of course. So with that being said, our first game, obviously we have all divisional games this week. Our first one is going to be the Miami Dolphins, who are sitting 7-8. I believe they are officially out of the playoff race. They are going to be taking on the Buffalo Bills, who are sitting at 5-10. Now, for the winners of this game, I feel like I'm going to have to go with Buffalo. I'm going to go with the home team. I feel like I can see Buffalo finishing out this season strong. I think the rookie Josh Allen is going to get it done. Obviously, the Bills defense is still semi-decent. Madden or NFL.com says they're the number 2 ranked defense in the NFL, which I still don't really see how that's actually true. But I guess I'll go off of it. Again, Miami's offense, Miami's team in general is not good whatsoever. The fact that they were even like in playoff contention at some point was wild. But also with the fact that Kyle Williams announced his retirement, I feel like Buffalo's gonna be like, we got to send this guy out on the right note by giving him a win. So I think Buffalo, I can see them getting their final win of the season here. Next is the Atlanta Falcons, sitting at 6-9. They are going to be taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are sitting at 5-10. For the winners, I feel like, man, I feel like Buccaneers might win this game somehow, but I feel like I should just go with Atlanta because they are the overall better team. I mean, obviously that offense is still powerful behind Matt Ryan. All those receivers he has, Julio Jones, Sanu, and Calvin Ridley. Their defense isn't that good. I mean, this is pretty much like 2 really high-powered passing offenses going against each other. The Buccaneers are home, so that has like a slight advantage. I don't know. I feel like I might be wrong on this one. I want to take Atlanta, but I feel like Tampa's going to win, so I don't really know what I should do here. Whatever. You know what? I'm going to stick with Atlanta. I'm going to stick with the team that has proven themselves more so in the past. So I'm going to go with Matt Ryan for the final game of the season here. Next is the Dallas Cowboys, sitting at 9-6. They are officially in the playoffs. They are going to be taking on the New York Giants, who are sitting at 5-10. Obviously, the Giants are looking to play spoilers here. They definitely would like to ruin the Cowboys' positioning in the playoffs, which I'm not really sure. I haven't done a whole lot of research with the NFC because obviously my team's in the AFC, so I know a lot of the outcomes and the seeding of the AFC as opposed to the NFC. NFC. I mean, you guys can probably understand that reasoning there. In terms of how Dallas is going to end up in the NFC playoff seeding, I have absolutely no idea. I'm sure the Giants would like to get a win here for their final game of the season, but I feel like Dallas is going to finish strong. I don't think they're going to go 9-7. I think they will get one last win here and finish with 10 on the season. So I think Eli Manning, Odell, and Saquon, they're going to put up a good fight, but ultimately I feel like Dallas might edge them out, and I think they're going to get the win. Next is another 6-9 team with the Carolina Panthers. They are going to take on the New Orleans Saints, who are sitting at 13-2. For the winners of this game, man, this has to be kind of a simple choice, right? I think we're going to be going with New Orleans. Now, I do know that Teddy Bridgewater is going to be starting. I know that they are saving Drew Brees for the playoffs, obviously. But, I mean, nonetheless, this team without Drew Brees can still get the job done. I mean, they still got their two dynamic running backs. They've got Michael Thomas. The defense is still very good. And not to mention the Panthers, obviously Cam Newton's out. Their backup they played last week, which was Taylor Heineke. Still not sure if I'm saying his name right. I'm pretty sure they put him on IR because he got hurt, so I have no idea who is even starting for the Panthers. So for like a bad Panthers team that has fallen off, they haven't been really doing good. Obviously their season, there's nothing to go for here. I mean, obviously they're still going to try and win the game, I'm sure, but going against a team like New Orleans is home. It's got to be the Saints winning. Now we have the New York Jets sitting at 4-11. They just extended their receiver Quincy Enunwa to a 4-year extension, which is pretty nice. That's good to see that he's going to be on that team for a while. I think he's a pretty solid receiver for the Jets. They are going to take on the New England Patriots. They are sitting at 10-5. Now, while I wish I was living in a fantasy land and the Jets would be able to somehow pull off this win and beat the Patriots, which would just be amazing, obviously, for my Ravens, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, part of me, obviously, like, I want to pick the Jets. I want to root for the Jets because that would really help the Ravens in the seeding for the playoffs, but I don't think it can happen, man. I don't know. I don't think that Sam Darnold is going to take his 4-11 team into New England where they are like, they know that their positioning is on the line. Like, they're trying to fight for that first round bye and whatnot. I don't think the Patriots are going to lose, unfortunately. I wish they would lose. I kind of hope that they lose, but I'm still going to be picking them. I'm picking the team that I hope loses. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but yes, we are going to be picking New England. Obviously, they should be the guys that do win this game. And back-to-back games, speaking of teams that I wish would lose, considering for my Ravens in the playoff seeding, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are sitting at 5-10, going to take on the Houston Texans, who are sitting at 10-5, which, again, I hope the Texans lose, man, which, you know what, I kind of feel like being like a little risky here. I don't know. I mean, obviously the Texans are the better team. They're guaranteed in the playoffs. They locked their division down. They're the home team. I do feel like the Texans obviously should win this game. However, I don't know. For some reason, I kind of feel like I should take the Jaguars with the upset. I mean, the Jags, if they could pull this off for me, man, and they could beat the Texans, give them that loss, oh, man, that would be huge. That would be absolutely amazing. I believe if the Texans lose and my Ravens win, we will be the number 3 seed. The Texans will be the 4. Obviously, if the Patriots lose as well, Texans lose, and my Ravens win, we'll be the number 2 seed, which is crazy. Like, if that happens, like, my mind will be blown. However, I do think New England's going to win. I kind of feel like, I don't know, guys, you know what? I think I'm going to say that the Texans lose this game. I think I'm going to go against them, and I'm going to say Jacksonville. This is going to be like a wild pick. Could this ruin, like, the overall record for me in Madden 19? I mean, this one game could be the deciding factor if I just don't take, like, the favorable team, which is going to be the Texans. I have no idea, but I'm going to gamble it, man. You know what? I'm going to gamble it, and I am going to be saying that the Jaguars are going to go in with the upset, finish strong on their season, and beat the Texans. You know, I just realized that they scheduled, like, a lot of the games that really don't matter for 1 o'clock, and a lot of the games that do matter at 4:25, which is kind of interesting. So our last 1 o'clock game, though, is going to be the Detroit Lions sitting at 5-10, taking on the Green Bay Packers, who are sitting 6-8-1. Again, both of these teams, they're not in playoff contention. Their seasons are done, so this is their last hurrah. And I still got to rock with Green Bay, man. I still got to rock with my man, Aaron Rodgers. He is definitely the reason why I won my fantasy Super Bowl last week. Shout out to the man, Aaron Rodgers, putting up 42 points for me. That was absolutely ridiculous. But, I mean, nonetheless, like I said this since McCarthy got fired. He was, like, the play caller for the offense, I believe. And since he got fired, Green Bay and the team has just been, like, a lot better in general. They've been scoring a lot more points, and it's going to show here. I mean, I do think that, you know, playing home and the team being better overall, I do think that Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are going to be able to bounce back here, have a good game, and finish off with a win. Next up is the Eagles. They are sitting at 8-7, going to take on the Washington Redskins, who are sitting at 7-8. Now, Redskins, I believe, are trying to play spoilers here, because I know last week with that loss to the Titans, that officially knocked them out of the playoffs, which, kind of sucks, because they did have a pretty good start to their season, but injuries definitely tanked their season, which really sucks, because, I've been on that end where my team, is doing semi-decent, and then injuries just completely ruin everything. The Eagles, however, I don't believe they're guaranteed to be in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure they're not. I think this is a must-win for the Eagles. I believe so, and I don't know. Part of me wants to say that these teams are both going to finish 8-8 because, honestly, I don't believe the Eagles deserve to be in the playoffs. They're really not that good of a team. I mean, the fact that Nick Foles has come in and, he's just, I come in and I just take teams to the playoffs. It's stupid. I can't stand it. The Eagles, they're not a good team. They honestly, they just don't deserve to be in the playoffs. However, I feel like Philadelphia, they still have that fight in them. They're in that Philly mode like they were last season. They're you know what, we're going crazy right now. We just got to win to be able to make it to the playoffs. And I think they will do it because, like I said, the Redskins, they're pretty banged up, lots of injuries. And the Eagles actually have something on the line. They couldn't make the playoffs. However, once they make it to the playoffs, I highly doubt they're going to do anything. I feel like they're just going to do absolutely nothing, in fact. And I do think they keep their playoff hopes alive here by getting the job done, which would be winning. So I guess I'm going to be going ahead and taking Philadelphia in this game. Now we have the Los Angeles Chargers sitting at 11-4, hot off of taking that big L from my Ravens last week. I know you guys saw that game, my #1 defense. We showed up. Yep, you guys didn't believe in me. You didn't believe in my team, but guess what? We proved you wrong. Anyways, the Chargers, they're going to take on the Denver Broncos. They are sitting at 6-9. And once again, the Broncos, they have nothing on the line. I think the Chargers, they really have nothing. Well, actually, no, that's right. The Chargers, I believe, can still win their division against the Chiefs, I believe, right? Yeah, the Chargers can still win the division, which would be crazy. I do think the Chiefs are still going to win the division. I don't think the Chargers will. So I think the Chargers are going to stay at the number 5 seed. However, do they lose this week? Do they win this week to the Broncos? They have to win. They have to win. Obviously, their team is still overall better than the Denver Broncos. The Broncos have tons of injuries all across the board. And again, their team is out of playoff contention. So I definitely feel like the Chargers have to be the easy win here. And then the other two teams in the AFC West, the Oakland Raiders, sitting at 4-11. They've definitely done a better job in the past couple of weeks. They managed to squeak out a couple of wins. It was looking like the Raiders were going to finish with 1 or 2 wins on this season. But they managed to squeak out 4. And that's going to stop here because they are playing the 11-4 Kansas City Chiefs. And I definitely do not see them losing this game. It's actually crazy, man. On NFL.com, it says the Chiefs have the #1 ranked offense and the 31st ranked defense. That is absolutely crazy. They literally have complete opposite of, on each side of the ball. The best offense and one of the worst defenses. It's crazy. But definitely the Chiefs, they're going to win this game. The Chiefs definitely deserve to win their division. They've been dominating the entire year, and I don't feel like they should lose it to the Chargers. So they definitely should beat the Raiders here in this game and be their division leaders for the year. This is a very interesting game as well. We have the Chicago Bears, who are sitting at 11-4. Obviously, they've locked down their division. They're guaranteed to be in the playoffs. They are, however, going to take on the Minnesota Vikings, who are sitting at 8-6-1. Now, the Chicago Bears are playing for a better seed. I know that right now, I believe they're sitting with the number 3 seed. Okay, so I actually just went ahead and looked it up. The Bears are currently the number 3 seed, and that's the worst they can do. They can't get lower than the number 3 seed. But the best they can do would be the number 2, which means they would have to beat the Vikings, and the Rams would have to lose this week. But so I do think they are going to stay the number 3 seed. However, for the winners of this game, I don't know, man. I feel like the Vikings are going to try and fight because their playoff hopes are kind of on the line. I don't know if they can fall out of the playoffs. I know they're not, guaranteed to be in them. But if they lose, obviously that would be pretty bad for them. 8-7-1, I don't think that they'd be making the playoffs, especially with the other teams in that wild card position. I do think, though, I think they'll get it done. I think the Minnesota Vikings will finish strong in their season. They're going to be the home team, and I think that they're going to, have that little bit left to fight in them to get this win at home against the Bears, who are their division opponent, and squeak into the playoffs. And finally, it is time to now talk about my team, Baltimore Ravens. We are sitting at 9-6 at home, hosting the Cleveland Browns, who are out of playoff contention. They are sitting 7-1. Now, nonetheless, I got to give some props to the Browns, man. I definitely did not see them getting 7 wins on this season. So, I mean, they definitely turned things around. They've got some good players. They did a good job in last year's draft. They're not far away, I feel like, from, putting up these types of records every single season, if not even better. So, Cleveland, it's kind of cool to see them be a semi-decent team. However, obviously, the winners of this game is going to be my team. We have a playoff berth on the line. We have a division title title on the line. There's even a possibility, it's extremely slim, and I even don't think it's going to happen, that we could have the number 2 seed in the AFC. Again, like I said just a couple minutes ago, if the Patriots and the Texans both lose their games and my Ravens win, we would be the number 2 seed, which would just be, it would be absolutely insane to see that outcome actually happen. But like I said, I don't think that's going to happen. However, I do think that we are going to win, and we are going to lock up the division, our first one in quite a few years. I don't remember the last time we won a division title. I think it's like been 3 or 4 years or something like that. But the Browns, I don't think they're a match for us, man. I know that they're a pretty decent team. They've been playing pretty well, but I mean, my Ravens, man, the defense, we have the number 1 defense in the league. They're just absolutely destroying teams. Our offense is coming around. Lamar Jackson is just looking really, really good. I absolutely love having this guy as our starting quarterback, and just overall, like, my Ravens, we're finishing 10-6 on the season, okay? Next is the San Francisco 49ers, sitting at 4-11, taking on the LA Rams. They're sitting at 12-3. Of course, the Rams got to be the winners of this game. I mean, yes, the Niners have been doing pretty good as well. They've been one of those teams where they've been squeaking out a couple of wins here and there throughout the season. But even though Todd Gurley being out, I still feel like the Rams at home, just overall, they're still just a completely dominant team. There's no way that they lose this game. I don't see it. I definitely think that they get this win with ease. And then we've got the other interesting game, which, you know, definitely is a factor for my Ravens. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals. They are 6-9, officially out of playoff contention, of course. And they're going to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are 8-6-1, which the Steelers, their playoff hopes are now very, very slim. They need to win. They need us to lose. It's not looking too good for them, man. And honestly, I don't think Pittsburgh deserves to make it to the playoffs. Overall, the way that their season has gone, I mean, they don't really play like a playoff team. I'm sorry, they just don't. They have a lot of injuries. They lose games that they shouldn't, and it's just like, I don't know. Obviously, I want to root for Cincinnati this game and say that they're going to win. Actually, you know what? I am going to pick Cincinnati. I am going to say that Cincinnati is going to play the spoilers here, and they're going to say to Pittsburgh, guess what? You have absolutely no chances of making the playoffs because we are going to make you guys lose this week. And now we have the Arizona Cardinals sitting at 3-12. They're taking on the Seattle Seahawks sitting at 9-6. This should be an easy one. Again, the Cardinals, they've been a little bit of an iffy team this entire year. They've got a couple of wins. They managed to get 3. I don't think they're going to get 4. I think Seattle holds it down at home here. They were able to clinch the playoff berth last week with that big win against the Chiefs last week. And I do feel like they finished the regular season strong with one final win. And then we have ourselves a very interesting game, man. This one should be good to watch. We've got a win-or-go-home situation, literally. We've got in the AFC South, the Indianapolis Colts sitting at 9-6, going to take on the Tennessee Titans at home, sitting at 9-6. And literally, the winner of this game will be in the playoffs. The loser of this game is going home. Now, who do I want to make it to the playoffs? Obviously, I would want the Titans to make it to the playoffs because they're a lot worse than the Colts are, okay? The Colts, I'm not intimidated by the Colts, but they're definitely an overall better team than what the Titans are, okay? But as for who is going to win, I got to stick realistic here, and I feel like I've got to go with the Colts. The Colts have had way too good of a season, okay? They've been doing really good. I mean, obviously, they started off bad, but just Andrew Luck went on that tear, man. And look where he has taken this team now, man. Coming off of that injury, he is in playoff contention. He could literally take his team to the playoffs and go 10-6 on this season. And, you know, like I said, I feel like they are the overall better team. That Colts defense is very, very good. Marcus Mariota is questionable to play in this game. And overall, I mean, still that Titans offense is pretty bad. But this definitely has to be an Indy win in this game, which, like I said, I would hope that the Titans would win this game because if my Ravens were to see them in the playoffs, we would probably cremate them. If it were the Colts, on the other hand, definitely be a little bit of a closer game. But, you know, obviously, let's stick to the regular season. Who's going to be the winner? Like I said, it's going to be the Colts. But there you guys have it. There are my final predictions of the season for week number 17. This video is extremely long. I said I wanted to make this short, and I completely failed at that. But you know what? It's all good. Let's go ahead, of course, take a look at Madden 19's predictions and see how they are going to match up against ours. So, starting things off, we have the Dolphins taking on the Bills. We chose the Bills. It looks like that Madden 19 is going against us. They will be choosing the Miami Dolphins to win this game. Following that, we have the Falcons and the Buccaneers. They are siding with us, choosing the Falcons. For the Cowboys and the Giants, they're also going to be siding with us, choosing the Cowboys to win this game. For the Panthers and the Saints, they have the Saints losing at home to the Panthers. Okay, interesting call there. And then for the Jets and the Patriots, they're also siding with us once again, and they are choosing the Patriots to win that game. The next game is the Jaguars and the Texans. They are also going to, actually, wait, I lied. They're going against us here. They are going to be picking the favorites, of course, which are the Texans. We chose the Jaguars there, which I hope it pays off for me. For the Lions and the Packers, they have the Lions going into Lambeau and getting the final win of the season as opposed to Green Bay. That's definitely interesting. For the Eagles and the Redskins, they have the Eagles also winning this game, beating the Redskins, keeping their playoff hopes alive. As for the Chargers and the Broncos, they have also had the Chargers winning this game easily against the Broncos. For the Raiders and the Chiefs, they do have the Chiefs winning this game. Obviously, that's an easy call there. For the Bears and the Vikings, they are also choosing the Vikings alongside with us. There are a lot of similarities here this week. For the Browns and my Ravens, they actually have the Browns being the victors this week. Oh my God, that is definitely not going to happen. If it does, man, I would cry. I would definitely cry. For the 49ers and the Rams, they do have the Rams winning at home, which is obviously an easy call there. For the Bengals and the Steelers, they do have the Bengals winning as well. Okay, so that's a good sign there. So they're saying even though we lose, the Steelers will lose as well, which means my Ravens are still going to be making the playoffs. And then for the Cardinals and the Seahawks, they have the Cardinals getting the final win of the season as opposed to the Seahawks. Interesting. And for the Colts and the Titans, Sunday Night Football, they're going to be choosing the Indianapolis Colts. So there you guys have it, man. There are mine and Madden 19's predictions for the final regular season week of the season, man. It's been a lot of fun. I hope all of you guys I hope all of you guys enjoyed this series, man. It was a lot of fun doing something a little bit different this year with football and with Madden 19 in general, you know, making my predictions, you know, while using the game as well. And I had a lot of fun with it, so I hope you guys did as well. I'm, of course, looking forward to next year doing it all over again, but it's not done yet. We still have to go ahead and predict our playoffs once that time does come in just a couple of days. So once again, I hope all of you guys did enjoy, man. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.